I'm Bailey from Brooklyn and Bailey, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do this amazing makeup tutorial that can be used for a shadow figure or a sugar skull costume. To start off for our makeup tutorial today, before I put any makeup on, I'm going to put on my primer. Smashbox Photo Finish is what I'm using today, and you only need a tiny bit to rub all over your face. There we go. And after it's all rubbed in, I'm going to start putting on my white face paint makeup. For the white I'm using today, I got a black and white makeup palette by Spirit of Halloween, as you can see. And today, this one was actually the best one that went on. I've tried tons of different ones and this one went on the smoothest. So this is the one I'm going to be using for my tutorial. You just want to put globs of it all over your face. You don't want to use too much, so I just put a big dot on the important parts of my face, like my forehead, my cheeks, my chin, right near the ends of my eyebrows, and probably a little bit more my forehead right here and right here. Next, I'm going to take one of my makeup sponges, and I'm just going to dab it in. Don't rub because it'll rub off the white makeup, just dab it into your skin. I know putting white face paint on can take a while, but you always want it to look your best. And you'll also have noticed that I put white face paint on my ears, my eyelids, my eyebrows, my lips, and down my neck. That's because we want our entire face to look the exact same color. So I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to rub it in any like blotches or stuff. We just want to try and smooth out our white face paint. There we go. And you'll notice that I've also put my white face paint on a little bit lighter than usual. That's because I'm going for more of like that shadow figure look. But if you're going for sugar skull, go right ahead and make it a little bit thicker. So as you can see, our white face paint kind of has a tacky texture. So I'm going to use NARS white face powder called Translucent Crystal. And we're just going to take the corner of our brush and dip it into our white face powder and then tap our brush, and you're just getting all of the excess powder off of your brush. Then you're just gonna wipe it all over your face. Once you finish your white face makeup, we're gonna go on to our eye makeup. And today I just picked a purple color because I think that matches more of like the shadow figure type of costume. But if you're going for like a sugar skull or any other scary costume, you can go with black or gray. Today I'm using a medium purple by BH Cosmetics 120 count palette. I'm using this one right here. And I'll show you how I put it on my eye. So I'm gonna take my eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna dip it into my color. And you wanna kind of do it pretty thick so you can get it all over your eye. And then I'm just going to hold down my eyelid, and you're going to want to bring the eyeshadow just from the corner of your eye through your crease to the other corner of your eye, and we're going to go up to our eyebrow too. And once you've done that, we're also going to bring it down underneath our eye. After you've applied your eyeshadow, I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm just going to blend all of the eyeshadow so it looks smoother, no bumps or clumps underneath our eye and in the corner, just to soften out the lines a little bit. We are going to be using a darker purple to give us more of like a smoky eye look. I'm going to be using this purple by BH Cosmetics again. It's on another palette. And I'm just going to take this purple and I'm going to create a triangle on the corner of my eye. So I'm going to start a line right there to the end of my eyebrow and then pull it in. And then we're going to go underneath too. Next, we're going to take our blending brush and blend it into the middle. Just for an added pop of color, we're going to put a light pink on the outside edges of our eye. I'm going to be using this pink by BH Cosmetics. We're just gonna rub it in, and then literally we're just following the edges of our purple. You don't want to do it too far outside of your lines of the purple. It's just really faint, really soft color of pink. Get a little bit more on there. And this pink is a really pretty pink. I love pink. And then of course we're going to take our blending brush and just blend it right into our purples. Now we're going to do our eyeliner, but before I do my eyeliner, I'm going to tell you something. I'm really good at doing other people's, but I swear I can't do my own. I have to hold my eye down because I can't close my eye and keep the other one open. So I'm going to try my hardest to keep this as good as I can. For my spiderwebs, I'm going to be using the same palettes I did before for my white face paint, but instead I'm going to be using the black, and I'm also using a fine-tipped makeup brush. I'm just going to roll it into our black and then draw the farthest outside edge of my spiderweb. And I'm doing my lines just from the crease of my eyes up to my eyebrows. You don't want to go all the way down on your eyelid because then it'll smear your eyeshadow. Once you've finished all of your stripes, you're going to go ahead and do a little U's connecting your lines. You're going to do one line on the top, another one in the middle, and then one last one on the end. Next we are going to be doing our mascara. Today I'm going to be using Maybelline's The Cat Eye. And of course I'm just going to apply it. Today I'm not going to curl my eyelashes because I already have my spider webs done. You're going to want to try and make your eyelashes about as spidery looking as possible. So that means applying a little bit more mascara than usual. And then I'm also going to be putting a top layer of Physicians Formula mascara. This helps my eyelashes look a little bit more spidery. Sugar skulls usually have like lines or dots underneath their eyes. So to create our dots, we're going to be using Wet n Wild eyeliner, there we go, and I'm just going to be putting 5 dots underneath my eyes. I'm trying to be really soft here. You're just going to take your pencil and put it in the spot you want and then just twist it really lightly underneath the eyes, and then we'll go over it again if it isn't dark enough. Now I'm going to be putting stitches on the lines of my mouth, and I'm just going to be using a liquid eyeliner. You're just going to trace from the corner of your mouth up, probably about in the middle of your cheek, and then you're just going to want to put slanted or straight or half stitches. Doesn't really matter because you want them to look real. There we go, and then we're going to do it on the other side. That's Brady, he's on the couch. For my lipstick, I'm going to be putting the same dark purple as I put on the corner of my eye on my lips, and I'm just going to cover like my entire mouth with this dark purple. And then I'm going to outline the purple with a black lipstick that I just got from any of our convenient Halloween stores. And there you finished your lipstick. As you can see, I have put on my shadow cape that I got from Chasing Fireflies. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Brooke and Bailey. Have a happy Halloween. Bye.